desire?
Survival.
That's her current shortest aspiration. She had an open slot.
No, her current shortest aspiration was survival from the beginning of last game session.
Oh, this might be an angel in the process of falling.
Let me show you.
Do we really want the supernatural super tracker?
Kind of.
The answer is no, sir.
Part of me wants it.
I know part of you wants it.
The
real answer is no, sir.
Well, why wouldn't we as demons not want that?
Because if we have it, it could be stolen from us.
We're good at keeping things from being stolen.
Yeah.
Our contracts depend on that.
That would be my job.
There's an image window that pops up, and in it you see a couple of familiar figures in the sense that you see Murata and Corvin in office. Murata is looking at him. It seems like an animated debate has been happening, but she finally resorts to, as the sound comes on in the image, give up your secrets, Corvin. I'll protect you. I can throw the Interfector off your tail. Nero doesn't have to know that you've gone left-handed. Corvin says, he already knows, Murata. Then he doesn't need proof. We were friends once. And that's why we're here. I'm done, Murata. I'm not doing this. He's suddenly holding a gun. And he says, things have stopped. For a brief moment, it looks like he's bringing it up to shoot Murata, and another gun is drawn and aimed, but before a shot can be had, Corvin brings the gun to his chin and squeezes the trigger. His brains splatter against the wall behind him. Murata screams in primal fury and sorrow into the gunshot silence, and she turns to someone else in the room and says, bring him back! You don't mean that, Murata. He is silenced by a spell before he can finish the sentence, and his body collapses to the ground like a puppet with its strings cut. Another person pulls a gun. The person who pulled a gun in the first place turns it on Murata and says, I can't believe you would do that. You don't have a right. How dare you? Murata yells at him, you don't understand! This was the secret! This was the seal! The secret of the office! This was everything! And now it's gone because he killed himself. Burn it. And find me someone else who knows that secret now. Initiate Executive Order 10. She walks out of the room. The other senators look at one another and she turns to them and she says, did I stutter? They scramble. Murata shows you visions throughout the city. Mortals rioting, first and foremost, but also in what looks like terrible housing and terrible living conditions. People that you two know, that the others don't. A small Mexican grandmother wielding a sandal against a group of people in what looked to be modified Hummers. Literally civilian tanks. Seemingly powered endlessly with what looks to be, you would swear to God, are railguns on top of them. She's not alone. She has allies, but 2 of them fall before she can open a portal to get everyone else out, and another one dies in the process. In other portions of the city, you see what looks like a library. You know it intimately well. It's the university library. And there's a small Asian woman there who has her hands out while guns are drawn on her, and she says, Executive Order 10 doesn't cover this. You guys have no right. Before she finishes, a gunshot rings out, and she is murdered in cold blood. Her body falls to the ground, and blood starts seeping over the library floors as they continue further on into special collections.
If I'm understanding this correct, the Free Council has started a war on the Concilium?
Yes.
The Free Council is doing tactical strikes against the Concilium.
An individual shows up in the room while the images of war throughout the city, humans rioting, a night of terrible, terrible things plays on. He's physical for all intents and purposes, in the sense that none of you have senses active to detect otherwise. And he looks at you all, and he looks at the dead body of Sid, and he looks at Daniel, and he says, strange that Causality would bring me here. I'm sure you have questions. I am the Hagalas. That is what you can call me. I am the disruptor. I am the end of the old and the bringer of the new. And this is the last place I have to be before I ascend and build something wonderful. So, I'm feeling generous. If you have questions, ask them now.
Can we kill the angel?
The angel is dead. Or die. It will be dead shortly.
Join us, and we will help you survive. I'm looking at Membrane.
Is there any way we can keep the city from imploding on itself?
No, the implosion is necessary. That being said, not everything burns to ashes.
We're safe down here, right?
Oh, of course. Not everything, although you might want to head back soon.
I'm probably going to be having extra duty.
Oh, I mean because you have friends,
Victor.
lovers, allies.
We do. Oh, sorry, you do.
Victor.
Most of the people that are important to me are in the house up above. Is that in danger?
Well, they're not the only ones in that house anymore.
Victor's probably in the bolt hole.
Sadly,
I would hope so.
your friend didn't make it that far. You aren't the only one looking for your friend. I'm sorry we had to meet under such strange circumstances.
So
To
who are you
elucidate,
again?
I'm not working for the God Machine. I'm here for my own purposes.
When you said ascend, I assume that you are a hidden master and you're going to become the new tower?
You're so clever. I do so appreciate it. Although, I would guess that you've been studying the history of this place.
Yes. Also, we would have known if you were working for the God Machine instantly.
It's
So.
something that we like to be on top of.
I appreciate that. As I said, not everything burns in a fire. The pieces that are left stronger for it.
I'm going to do something really weird.
Okay.
And it's in the hopes of causing an angel to fall.
Okay.
I'm going to show compassion to Membrane.
I will tell you that Membrane has already suffered enough damage and there is no saving her. Unless you can pull out some crazy supernatural mumbo jumbo about
On the mend.
why that doesn't affect Corpus. She's not material. She also doesn't have a cover.
All right, supernatural mumbo jumbo.
These are the moments I look for.
I will spend the aether. I will spend 2 aether if I need to, and combining what I know about On the Mend and reversing the process of ephemeral cover, I will restore the cover I rended from her in order to heal her and show compassion.
You're so certain that strong compassion will turn her. But she's been living with a mage, and Sid is not incompassionate. Why do you think this?
Compassion from a demon to an angel. It's a far different level of compassion. It's a different scope. Sid did not know what she truly was, or what she truly meant.
How does the party feel?
I
Keep in mind.
I think it's his action. I'm not going to stop him.
I mean, how does the party feel about Membrane coming back?
If Membrane properly falls, then I'm fine with it. If she doesn't, then I'm a little annoyed.
Yeah. Same.
Regardless of what happens, Membrane has Riohan's legacy within her.
Yes.
And
feasibly,
Riohan's legacy is also elsewhere at this point, which might be a problem later, but...
So either way, right now we don't have the means to end Riohan's legacy. So
You've delayed it significantly.
We've delayed it significantly. So if we can turn this entity that is in charge and has the most influence and control over Riohan's legacy into a demon and bring it into the fold of our ring, we then gain Riohan's legacy as an asset under the ring's control.
That we can then burn down.
We gotta burn it down.
Come help me show compassion.
Okay. I will support him doing compassion.
Because
Wits plus occult.
we are demonstrating that
She wants to survive, so
You're at a -4. Membrane does absolutely want to survive.
So I will be pinging off of that for bonuses.
Yeah. Yes. We are demonstrating that we are not Membrane's enemy here.
God Machine is Membrane's enemy,
Yeah.
not us.
Okay. So I will have my 2 social characters roll presence plus persuasion.
I'm
to
spending a will.
explain what he is doing. I don't care whether or not your characters know what he's doing. You make it up.
Okay. Presence plus composure?
And it doesn't matter if you're lying.
Persuasion.
Not perfect.
Persuasion. Yeah, is negotiations parts of that?
Yes.
Sweet. Also, I'm going to have more questions for the...
He's not leaving yet.
No. I want to...
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
Well, he was more
Let
persuasive.
me tell you about free will.
You know what? I actually have persuasion as well.
Alright.
So you know what? I might as well throw my hands in here.
This
Might
is
as well.
way better than killing the angel.
Nikki's very focused on Causality and why he is here.
So, is there anything that I can do to ensure the protection of my assets?
Things are things. Sometimes you have to let go of them.
We understand that my assets means that the people that I have, my NPCs and everything, that's what she's calling her assets.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
He does.
okay.
Is there a way to save Victor?
You should leave quickly. He's not. You should leave quickly.
Alright, I'm going to finish this with the angel, and then I'm going to teleport pop all the way up to the thing, and I will...
Answer your previous question. There's a doorway behind you. You can't open it, though.
Are there secret doors?
Oh.
There is. It's an iris.
I have a question about phasing.
Oh, did I not have the
Who wants rend the
You
gates?
don't have round the gate. Somebody in this room can open that iris.
There is a mage dude standing right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Mage too. Well, Pagalas is not going to help you with that.
The beast might.
The beast.
The beast can. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a quick question about phasing.
Yeah.
Considering that if I become immaterial, the ground no longer supports me, as I'm no longer material on the ground.
That's not true. Yeah, you can immaterial and stay on your current Y level, basically.
Well, could I change my Y level if I wanted?
Not at will. You have to have a reason for doing so, or like a symbological reason, a
Like-
symbolism.
So I can't just phase up through the ceiling.
Like if you're boosted up and you phase,
Mhm.
you go through the ceiling.
Yeah, if somebody boosted... Like, if I was running it, and somebody boosted you up, and you phased right after they got to this point,
Mhm.
I would say that you could actually continue the drift going up.
Well, I'm not gonna be that generous, but like you
But
can
I'm
phase
generous.
through the ceiling and into the next floor. That's fine. Likewise,
That's what I mean.
Swan dive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean like I would continuously.
Yeah, like
no,
you could
to
swan
the
dive
next floor.
into the floor, but you have to make the motion to move in that direction. It's not.
Okay, because I'm just trying to get up into the house quickly.
No. Like that, unfortunately, wouldn't work. Well, I have other places to be, and I've stalled time for long enough. I believe you've helped your compatriot. So much disruption. So pleasant. He looks pointedly at Daniel, who has been staring at the screens this whole time. And as it passes, you can almost feel him becoming more and more and more
Oh, he's feeding.
human.
Oh, he's getting hungrier?
He's feeding,
Oh. Oh, that's
but
right.
he can't control it. If he hits 10, he's not a beast anymore. He's just a mortal for a time.
Well, that'll be significantly less sweat on my brow for a few moments. So
let's-
go for it!
No, we need
that
him to
will-
be a beast so he can open the doorway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's just have him
Okay.
open the doorway now and then finish what he's doing.
Well, if he opens the doorway now and then finishes what he's doing, we can't get him back out.
We can walk out.
The door behind us won't open.
What
No,
about the
He was
elevator?
talking about the secret door,
Oh.
which is I
It's
can't
an
open
iris.
it because it's an iris because it's a portal.
Okay.
So what happens with the angel?
You managed to, like, basically slosh Corpus back onto it and like kind of massage it in as the other three. What did you roll, by the way? What did you get on the roll?
I was using persuasion and the presence.
No, how many successes?
Oh, 2.
Okay. And the rest of your ring is basically saying like,
Join us. One of us.
this is what free will gets you. Like, I mean, this is what you've suffered at the hands of the God Machine, and now you have the choice. The God Machine thinks you are dead, that you are deceased. You've sent the signals. You are gone. But I can bring you back, and we can bring you back. And what will you do with that freedom?
Free will!
God machine.
Membrane falls instantaneously. The possibility of being free from the God Machine and the conceptualization therein within the demon's mind is enough to trigger the catalyst. She falls. Daniel is staring at the screens, and as he's looking, he's particularly fixated on one screen. Haggelis is gone, in case you were curious. He's particularly fixated, even if you cover his eyes, you can still see what's happening.
Oh, damn it. I just thought of a question I wanted to ask. Fucker.
What was it?
I want to know what it is that makes this city special.
Oh, yeah, that I can't tell you.
Why not?
Spoilers.
Well, but I can ask questions. What about what the thing under the city is we're supposed to protect?
It's the real city.
For those who will be playing in the future Cities game, the Haggalis ruling arcanum are space and fate. Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Okay, well then I'd like to convince Daniel to get me back up to the house
Daniel.
so I can start protecting my place.
I'm the only one who knows about the portal.
Okay.
So far, yes, sorry, to continue the description, you are all working at the same goal. Promises.
Yes. So I grab and shake Daniel and go, "Can you open that portal?
What?
Open the portal!"
For those of you still looking at the screen is of an empty street. Cars have been flipped over. In a short amount of time, the city has gone from 0 to 300. Like...
This is a city. Boom.
The cars have been flipped over. Roads are blocked. Things are on fire. Windows are broken. Broken glasses everywhere. The police aren't even bothering to respond because they have to control the holding cells. It's every man for his goddamn self. From the shadows, the werewolf steps out, dancing along an empty street.
That fucker again?
He stops, he looks around, and he howls. The shadows at the edges of the street kind of coalesce and shift, and you can see this on what looks to be a traffic camera. Everything has gone out the window. 5 werewolves step forward in their war form and look at the one in the middle of the street, and he says, and now we dance with the devil on a moonlit night on the streets of the cities. Looks like we found a new place, boys. Howling erupts down the street. You can see people running in fear in the distance. It's not okay on several levels. Daniel, you successfully corralled Daniel to the portal, and Daniel looks at it and he says, "This doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it goes somewhere. It's an iris, but it doesn't go where it needs to go."
You can make it go where we need it to go.
Where do we need it to go?
Ember Hill.
Ember Hill.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I can. Daniel saved himself from Stage 10, by the way, by spending a Stage to make this place his lair, or to integrate a new chamber into his lair.
Oh, there we go.
He reaches forward with his hand, and you all have the impression of scales, impossibly large scales, sliding through sand and wind and scouring forces. And just finally, the opening. The breaking open of something held far too tight. I can make a sexual innuendo, but I don't think I need to.
Diggity.
That's the feeling that you get. That's the image that presents itself.
The snake forced its way through the iris.
More lube.
There is not enough lube in the world for that.
No.
But it opens to the doorway at the beginning of the facility.
I grab membrane.
The membrane doesn't have a cover. It's best to leave her here.
Oh, that's true.
We can come back for her later.
You can come back with the soul pack to give her later, but for now,
I have a soul pact for her.
No, she has a cover. It's just an ephemeral cover.
no, she doesn't have a cover.
Well, that's awkward.
Yeah.
That's extremely awkward.
Yes.
Because
Angels exist naturally as ephemeral beings. That does not mean that they have a cover if they fall.
She didn't have a cover that she was working under. She was just standing there being an angel and pretending to be a computer program. This mage just bought it.
Oh, Jesus.
Doi!
The mage has Spirit 5. She's an ephemeral being. She is subject to all of his magics of the Spirit Arcanum.
So, yeah, I have a soul pact for her. It's a dude. It's that one dude. So it's not particularly interesting, but it's a soul pact.
But it's a soul pact!
Yeah, so much for my second cover, but, I didn't really want him anyway.
I will rule for the moment, but we will keep it for the record later that you can easily give her that soul pact. However, you have other things on your mind and you don't have the soul pact on you.
Yeah.
So, for now, you leave membrane in the facility and you can take the iris out. You can come back later. It's not like the facility is out of bounds.
It's
That's
Kind of
it's
in your
on the
backyard.
property.
It may be part of Daniel's lair, but it's part of my basement.
Daniel can give us permanent invitation rights to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he can.
Doesn't mean he will.
Want to.
Well, he should.
Anyways,
It'd be polite.
who's going to jump through the iris? It's only going to be around for a couple
Nope.
of rounds.
I'm doing it.
I'm
Might as well get out of here.
I drag Daniel with me.
Well, Daniel goes last.
Oh,
To
okay.
close the iris. You guys tumble out in front of the doorway, so it's a sprint back to the main building. As you guys tumble out, those of you who are looking towards the main building, because you're sprinting towards it,
I teleport to it.
you see people there already. Are you sure you want to do that? I'm going to say that you recognize that there are figures in the house before you teleport.
Oh, they're going to die. Everybody in that house is going to die until Victor is safe.
My people are in that house.
Well, your people too. If it is one of my rings
You
NPCs,
can't tell who it is. You just see people are in the house.
right?
So-
If it's not one of our NPCs, they're dying because Victor's in danger. So they're dying.
Is Victor in that Ember Hill?
He was.
He was.
He made
Okay.
us coffee.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Bing.
maybe.
Oh, that's right. You weren't here last session. The
Yeah.
session did start with pointedly Victor making coffee for everyone.
All right.
And all of our NPCs were actually in the building.
Yeah. It might be best to make.
Chad
all of-
was not in the building.
Except Diana. Diana wasn't there either.
Chad
Your
advise,
NPCs weren't there.
Your
Charlie
stigmatic
was.
not there.
Charlie
was there.
But
Charlie
Charlie's
was
talking to
is
Victor.
Charlie's a stigmatic.
Chad
one.
was not
Okay.
there. Chad was not there. Diana was not there. Mr. Press was not there.
Okay. I want to make sure
well,
that the non-NPCs
he's an asset,
in
not
the
a-
building,
not a
or
lover.
non-our NPCs in the building, aren't there also protecting it, because there are other people that have vested interest in Ember Hill not burning to the ground.
I'm not in my right state of mind. It will take a ringmate to get me there.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, we have come through the iris and I have teleported to the building. I am
Okay.
Oh
well,
Lord, I'll
I
go
have
after him.
Inhuman skin.
Your teleportation?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's my movement power.
Awesome.
high five.
Well,
I can fly and teleport, which makes me awesome in
Vanessa
dogfights
gets
because
some
it's
wings.
Okay.
wee,
I mean, it's a sprint. Like, you don't have to do
no.
Hold
but
on.
she takes off the opposite direction.
Okay.
She's going to Diana.
How far can I create multiple images away from myself?
Within sight.
Within sight? So I project an image of myself in front of him
Yes, that's fair.
and tell him to calm down. We do not know that everybody in here is a combatant, and we do not want to destroy our own allies
So,
in a frenzy.
I'll check first. I shift to the German artist, Zachary,
Okay.
and step in.
You open the French doors.
Yes.
There is a group of 6 very familiar people looking at you. And as you step in, the front door also opens. It'll be a second before they come into view. But 6 very familiar individuals.
Pre-council mages?
No.
Concilium mages?
No.
Oh.
Werewolves?
Werewolves.
My werewolves?
Or werewolves.
Hello. I'm glad to see you.
They all look at you. At the table is Victor, the woman whom you fought earlier, sitting across from him.
I know who his mother is.
Yes, you do.
Hello, man.
I think that the space speaks for itself. And civilized discussion, and she turns to the people who have just come in. By this point, the rest of you who are coming into Ember Hill are there. Charlie is there at Ember Hill, by the way.
That's fine. I got him there.
I'm just letting you know you might have to play Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Chad walks in
Oh, okay.
with 2 men in suits.
Do I know the 2 men in suits?
They're black suits.
You know the suits. They're Armani.
No. The government doesn't spring for Armani. No.
So, they're government employees?
They're men in black, for lack of a better term. The werewolves look at them, the men in black look at the assembled, and they look at Chad, and Chad says, "This is what you wanted, isn't it? Movers and shakers and all of the deal makers."
Chad, who are your friends?
Oh, these aren't my friends. These are the people who made me a better offer. Task Force Valkyrie. Might I introduce demons and werewolves? If you'll excuse me, I have places to be. Chad is hurting back.
Oh! I haven't seen him since we messed him up in the first place.
Is it okay for Chad to die?
Apparently he's reneged on his contract, so is no longer under my protection.
Very well. As he turns to leave, I go loud and teleport directly in front of him after he turns. And I am killing a bitch. And the 2 Task Force Valkyries.
Might as well if you're going loud.
I mean, like, really?
No.
Sweet Jesus.
Because they just threatened Victor's life. Or they just threatened Victor's safety.
Did they?
Yeah.
How?
Because
Sounded awfully
that
threatening
sounded very
to me.
threatening.
Well,
I am killing him and I'm giving them 1 turn to explain. But Chad has betrayed us.
You may choose what happens.
Okay.
He can roll down and dirty and Chad dies. Because Nock has gone loud, so he's burned the German artist cover and now has Prim 10.
Okay.
Or you can roll for Chad. I'm like, or Chad will actually get a roll. I'm leaving it up to you because he's your NPC. And defense and hindrances and all the other rest of it.
I am understanding correctly that Chad did betray me, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if
This
he's
was planned
fatally
from the beginning.
injured and still, like, alive a little bit, I'll ask him if he wants to rethink his
life choices.
His life choices.
I
As
am
he's
fine with
gurgling
that.
out.
Is
Yeah.
that okay?
I am fine with mortally wounding him so he can't do a damn thing
Mhm.
until she fixes him.
Yeah.
Or finishes him off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, since Keeley betrayed her,
Mhm.
I would want her to have the choice of the final blow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll me your your attack pool.
Oh, nasty.
So,
Terrible. Well, surprisingly, his attack pool isn't modified by his Prim.
Ah, you just got a stupid amount of from right.
He just has, well, he has Prim 10
and a full Primum pool.
and a
Aether
full
pool.
Aether pool for Prim 10.
And I can spend Aether as though... Oh, God.
So he can spend 10 Aether per round.
It's 15. It's 15.
For 10?
All of the supernaturals are 15 per turn at 10.
Oh, okay. I was just going by the...
And at 9 it's 10. At 8 it's 8.
Okay. You have like 100 Aether, so... I mean...
6.
Alright, that's fine.
And I spend the Aether for the extra armor from my Aegis.
Because why the fuck not? So...
My shield Aegis protocol.
The German artist, Zachary, basically explodes in a flurry of Aether and terribleness, and Nox's demonic form is standing there. And the werewolves tense, but do not move as of yet. He teleports behind Chad, backhands him into the wall at the very end of the hallway. There's an audible crack. It's probably his spine. But you have no way of knowing until somebody actually goes to examine him. For now, a crumpled mess on the floor is, I presume, acceptable.
Free speech.
Alright, the agents were going to speak, but go
Okay.
ahead.
I point to them and say, peace or war?
Well, we just came here to talk. And if you'll notice, they don't seem to have a problem yet. None of the werewolves have shifted forms or bothered to take any sort of offensive action.
What you have to say
Um,
will determine if you get out of here alive.
The city burns. You'll have to do more than that to prove that you are not combatants.
They have no guns under their jackets.
They could be beast motherfuckers.
They could be mages, they could be whatever. Like, come on.
Yeah, Task Force Valkyrie isn't
You are
exclusively-
loud. You are in full demon form. You can see aura.
Yes.
They are human.
Alright.
I looked and...
No, and no, Task Force Valkyrie is exclusively human.
Oh, that's right.
Hunters.
That's right, that one. They are mortals.
I'm going to see to the rest of my assets.
You're more than welcome. We won't stop you from leaving.
So what are you here for if you're not here for violence?
It's like, I wasn't asking your permission, and so I'm going to go check and round up the rest of my people, make sure that they're safe, and get them into the basement, where they are going to be less likely
There'll
to
be
be.
some travel involved in that, which is a particularly dangerous persuasion at this point. Presence
Mm-hmm.
plus streetwise to round them all up. You may use manipulation if that is higher.
Oh, it's not higher than presence.
Okay.
Presence is streetwise.
Yep.
When I do get to Diana, I am going to knock out punch her. And take her to Ember Hill.
Just so you don't have to deal with the talking part?
Yeah.
Well, I have giant wings on. I have
Oh, okay.
armored scales.
She's gonna freak the fuck out because she's never seen her demonic form in
Yeah.
fashion.
Two.
Exactly. Just six
Well,
times.
well, give her a split second. She might just, like, swoon.
She might be like, oh, squish.
She can
Sploosh.
squish. She
No.
can sploosh later.
Or,
Swoon.
I meant faint.
Oh, well.
You're
She can do that later.
Swoon was
too.
just a funner way to put it.
You're fine, you can get them. There's a couple of hairy spots where you guys have to stop and wait for a while while roving bands of looters pass you by, but you can make it through. Last question asked was, what are you here for?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chad offers a deal. Said he had whereabouts of those who had destroyed our facility at the docks. So, we came. Came to figure out why.
Something else was using your facility that we needed to destroy. You're smart.
Such as?
You need to know